Okay, looking at the way this deck and everything is set up here, if we're going to lift this, that becomes pretty unstable. Kind of sticks out. It's not really got a lot of support, and that helm weighs something. It actually weighs quite a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to tie this bar in just to keep everything stable. That way that thing has some support on its way up. It's not really going to take a whole lot. Just a little bit of stability. Incidentally, that's an old anchor reel that I found underneath this thing, under the deck. That should do it. Next, we need to unscrew all of these sheetrock screws that somebody has put in. It's like so. And some of them are completely stripped. Probably weren't really holding anything to begin with. We've drilled, you watched that. We took the screws out, you watched that. What you didn't see is I left rods over there because I'd been storing them because it was the safest place. Get your rods out before you jack your boat up. We're stabilized here. So you can see we're using ratchet straps. These are just plain old ratchet straps. And this one's old pieces of equipment around the house we've hauled. We've got a couple of heavy duty ones on here. We've got a couple of lighter ones. I've got two. I'll show you how we're going to do that. Is we're going to replace each of these as we fill the reels up. If we can't get it to go slack on its own, we're going to take this one, we're going to just alternate out, and what that'll do is that will let us get the big one back down because it'll take the strain off and all that. Watch as you jacking these things up. See, we're on superstructure. This is an old poultry barn. It's a barn now. Keep sheep in it. There's a sheep around here somewhere and it's gone. You're going to find a lot of stuff like right here that didn't go all the way out. You're going to have to pry it loose, get it to pop out. Now, this one, completely unexpected. I didn't see it. But we've got a major holdup back here. As you can see, we're not coming up in the middle whatsoever. Why is that? That's a tube. It goes all the way through and catches both sides of this. So we're gonna have to knock the tube out. Awesome. Go figure out how. Okay guys, little research. These are replaceable. Yes, they are. So what we're going to do, we're just going to knock it. We're going to try to just knock it out. And yes, this is rated to be hammered. Also says for your safety glasses, those are up here somewhere. And of course, it's always a little bit too big. These are, of course, aluminum, but they're pretty bendy. Okay, let's see if we can get it to catch on somewhere. Try to knock it out just a little bit. They make them, and they make a tube, or they make a tool that goes through here to flare them. All right, let's lift the rest of this thing up, see what we got. Looks like it's going now. Okay, real important. Look up under it. Make sure you're not on something. Yes, we've got a live well drain. I'd like to get this thing up just a little higher so that I can actually get to that without having to stretch. And something's still holed up over here. So we're going to try to keep our hands out from under this thing. Find the pry bar, and we're going to pry right in through here. Just a little. What's holding us? Oh, look, there's a rivet that somehow we missed. All right. And we're off. See how high we can get this. Really don't weigh much. Now, hey, you get one that's loose like this, good opportunity, because what's going to happen is you're going to get a lot of this web built up, web strap built up on the spool. If you can get slack in one, that's great, because then you can pull all of this extra out. We just slacked this guy. Look at this. Awesome. What that means is we're not going to have nearly as much trouble, because we're going to take the slack out right there. Yeah, no, we're not directly up overhead, but I think we're close enough. Wow. That's a mess. But it's all fixable. We're going to fix it. Rat's nest. Fortunately, we have a trash can. Going to fix all this old wiring while we're down here too. This is garden hose. This is a drain. This is rigged off of it's rigged off of the live well there. Well, it's not a drain. That's actually, I guess that's the aerator. Well, in any event, it's a garden hose. So we're going to cut that because it's not going to stay a garden hose. Okay, thing to watch here is you got your steering cables. Make sure that all of this stuff is coming up or staying put as is appropriate. Now, we've got a lot of slack right here. This looks like a, suspect this may be the actual correct holes for this, so we're going to try to save that. It's a flathead screwdriver. Maybe I can, finally, if we go up a little higher, maybe I can get an arm in there. Okay. Once again, we've got one of these guys that has gone slack on us. You never really know how many of these it's going to take. These little light duty ones like this, I wouldn't expect them to hold just a whole lot. This guy there is very, very hard to use, so in all honesty, I think I may swap this guy out for one of these smaller straps, because I just don't think it requires that much. Okay, we can get under there. Driver, and here's a plug to the snap-on guy. This thing's wonderful, but I think most of my tools end up being snap-on. And we're off, just like that. You gotta watch your knuckles in here, guys. I mean, obviously you've already seen me smack mine a few times. There's a lot of hazards in here at this point. That's all well and good. We're gonna be out and about here in a little bit. Hey, well, it's jacked up, and this is what's under it. Like I said, it's a mess, but it's all fixable. Yeah, we're walking around, and even though the transom is relatively solid, it's kind of soft right at the top, we're going to replace it. It's out. It's virtually no material there. 100% new wood under here. I'm kind of happy to see this transition, because this will let me do this in two pieces and not have to try to scarf two together. Interesting piece of serpentine belt over there. But yeah, just basic junk thrown in here. There's our drill and impact. So we're going to get all of this stuff out. That's probably as high as I'm going to take this thing, to be honest. If I really get down and dirty with this boat and need the room, we can pull this boat right out this door. Do this stuff in the open air, pull it right out from under this guy. As a matter of fact, I could really pull it out and back it back in off to the side slightly. I think that's a good idea. I think I'll do that. Okay, so in any event, I'm going to be cleaning up here for a while and probably turn this thing back on. Half of this wiring isn't used, so probably, being as I'm a commercial electrician, they're probably going to end up with a little bit of conduit in here somewhere. A little bit of PVC just to give us a raceway through, you know, these blind spots. Get up here, get from one compartment to the next or something to that effect. But we'll see how all that works out. Alrighty. Wow. All the wood's out. Okay, well, not all of it, but it's all detached anyway. We had a lot of sawzall cutting, all that. Not really sure what that center thing is. It's not really a stringer because it doesn't go all the way to the transom. Really just a deck support. We may or may not put that back in. I may want to build a small box down there we can use as a cooler ice chest. Put a nice deck lid on it. Looking at all of this stuff, this is important right here. It's really nice that this is left for us because that gives us, at least from corner to corner measurements, again corner to corner, it'll let us cut out the stinking deck in a normal fashion to replace the existing one. Same thing back here. We're going to take all these measurements before we clean the bottom of this thing out because this stuff is really fragile. So we want all those measurements before we disturb it too much. I had to get the wood out because that was really kind of interfering. I'll show you guys something. It's really important to save certain parts of this. Right here is one of them. It's just you can use that for a pattern because we can get our height right here. That lets us establish how wide this thing is and length because we can see where it ends. It terminates right there. Same thing back there. That's a pattern. They look like junk, but it's a pattern. I'm going to do here with these guys. What we're going to do here with these guys is we're going to try to cut those out the same way so that we can get a one side cap of what this guy looks like. The decking here, we can just measure that, but the stringers are going to have more than likely, they're going to have a stair step or a taper to the bottom side. And wow, it's a mess, but you know, when this guy's done, it's going to be pretty much a new boat. There's not a thing wrong with this hull. There's not even any good stress cracks in it anywhere. No spider web cracks, nothing. It's just wrought out, and we can take care of that. It's pretty easy to do. It's involved, but you know, that's a lot of plywood here. That's all going to go in. Don't look at that ladder too close. OSHA would not approve. Giving this some more thought here. This is just two sheets of plywood, and it's not very big. We're going to go ahead and replace that. The top's bad. If we replace it, the whole, I don't think that's going to matter, but you know, if we replace it, the whole thing is replaced. This thing is hollow, so of course those got to get replaced. If we replace it, every bit of wood on this boat is new. As you can see, it's a tiny little piece of transom. It looks like two pieces of 1 inch. We're going to throw 3/4 at it. Give it a little bit thicker. Should, in all honesty, it should increase the transom rating on the boat. It's rated at 150 now. You can put a little bigger motor on it maybe. But, you know, that's all neither here nor there. I've got a 150 for it, so that's what I'm going to run. But that's what we're looking at. And our next episode here is going to involve, honestly, probably just cleaning this dang thing out. Seeing what all kinds of neat things we can find in it. All right. Thanks for watching.